Now have a conversation with the Deputy Minister for Transport and also the Member of Parliament for Tema East constituency, the Honorable Daniel Nikwate Titus Clover. Chief, good morning. Thank you very much for your time.
Good morning,
you are in the news. You're in the news for saying that we should ban the use of motorcycles at night. Why?
Thank you very much, my brother. Let me also extend my greetings to my mother, Auntie Joyce, today being her birthday. I wish her good health and long life. I'll find time and parcel if I have the time.
Right.
Yes, indeed. Yesterday we met at a forum organized by my ministry with stakeholders, i.e. the Motor Traffic Transport Department of the Ghana Police Service, the Road Safety Commission, the DVLA, the various assemblies within Greater Accra, the Okada Riders Association and Motor Riders Association. Basically, we're looking at the accidents and the Regulation 128, which states that motorcycles should not be commercialized.
True.
There have been two sides to the discussion, the positives and the negatives. The positives in the sense that it is creating jobs for some youth within areas where access to vehicles, public transport has become problematic. When you go beyond Tema, for example, on your way to Ningo, Pram areas, Community 25, Sige, Koledo, Kase, all the way to Sogakopi, to the border. It's one of the easiest means of transport for the public. And it's creating good jobs, incomes to our homes and all that. Then on another leg is the total disregard to the law, where you look at the enormity of the crashes. In 2010, 200 people lost their lives. 2017, 100%, 400 people died because of motor riding. And you realize that some of their behavior on our roads is totally unacceptable. I have witnessed on few occasions at the traffic lights, when it's red, all the vehicles have stopped. You see them just crossing in, off, they are gone. Because you are not careful, any incoming vehicle can knock you down at ease. And the police are doing their best to make sure we control some of these indisciplines on our road.
Do you think they are able to enforce this ban that you're proposing?
I can vouch for the MTTD in Tema. In the morning, in the sun, in the evening, in the rain, you see them at vantage places, making sure that they are making sure that
are we not overstretching them, especially knowing that their numbers are not enough?
I agree with you.
The resources they need to fight the crime is not there.
Giving clearance for more police to be taken, to go to training. When they go to their training, they'll be distributed accordingly, wherever they want to send them. So approval has come for clearance, for more people to be engaged in the police service. But I can vouch for the police service in Tema. And I know when I'm coming to work in the morning, you see them standing by the roadside. Sometimes when they even stop drivers, our own passengers sometimes are impatient to what the police are doing. They'll stop you. You see them at the traffic light checking the roadworthy certificates on the windscreens. Most of the drivers we see on the road, they don't have driver's licenses. Trust me. I have been a victim before. I was going home one night around 8:39. Ashama under bridge, Ajekojo. Behind me was a trotro who hit me heavily. We just drove past under the bridge and we parked. I called the police. We were invited to the police station. He hasn't got a driving license.
He didn't have.
He's a spare driver.
He was driving a public transport.
Transport.
So this.
So clearly, we have a role to play as a country.
But this ban, is it enforceable?
We have to back with the legislation, because most of the criminals use motorcycles to commit these crimes. Most of them. this shooting and other things that are going on, they use motorcycles.
The argument is that we should light up our streets, we should have CCTV cameras so that we're able to capture the motorbike, because the police alone cannot do it.
What I'm saying is that it's complementary.
Okay.
We can have the speed cameras, right? All over advantage places and all that.
Okay.
And again, my suggestion is a suggestion I'm making to the IGP and his team. Back with the legislation from the Ministry of Interior.
Right.
When they present to the Cabinet and Cabinet looks at it, it is sent to the Attorney General, then we present it to Parliament, refer to the appropriate committee, who look at it, back with the legislation. Between 9:30, 10 to 6 a.m., no motorcycle could move in a way to fight crime. That was an idea I was trying to share.
The motorcycle guys who run, say, delivery services, EMS and all of that, they won't be happy with this.
In the legislation, we can make room, a lacuna. We can make an arrangement for those people.
Okay.
We can make room for them because they are not criminals. They have an identity to prove that they are rendering an essential services to the public, to their clients. That can be taken care of. So in the legislation, we'll come out to enumerate some of all these things that will be able to allow them to move freely.
And when do we hope to kickstart this, have this
legislation? This is a suggestion I made at the forum yesterday.
It's generated a lot of conversation.
Really? I'm happy about it. There were a lot of the MTTD commanders from the various stations that came to the program. So I'm sure they'll carry it across at their various meetings with the IGP and all that, and see what we can do about it.
What's happening to Ayalolo? Last week we had a picture of somebody selling goats at one of the Ayalolo bus base, and we've been asking the question, there was a pilot and then it just went...
Richard sent me the pics yesterday night,
right.
And when I saw it, I said this is total indiscipline, because Ayalolo in itself is managed by what we call GAPTI, Greater Accra Private Transport Executives. These are from the various assemblies under Greater Accra. In fact, the board chairman of GAPTI is the AMA chief executive. They are supposed to make sure that within their local authority areas, the assemblies, all these things are taken care of. The city guards, you know, that are in this particular area where this picture was taken of this goods seller, should be able to ask the gentleman to leave the place. But they've allowed all these things to go on because they felt that Ayalolo is not functional. Ayalolo is a challenge that we have inherited.
What's the challenge?
And the challenge is that it's two things. For Ayalolo, we call the bus rapid transit services to be very effective. You need to have a designated lane. You've traveled abroad and you know this
a dedicated lane.
Designated lane that they drive to. The only people that share these lanes with are institutions with essential services, ambulances, fire service, and whatnot. But we didn't have that when we started it. The only area you see this designated lane is in front of the Shell opposite Peace FM. From Peace FM, just after the Tesano police station, when you are driving down towards a circle, you see opposite Peace FM, Abeka Junction,
a yellow demarcation,
demarcation, a little closer to the EcoBank, just across the road. It ends there. Then when you get to the Central Business District in Tudu, there is another one just in front of the Kingsway, Old Kingsway, Cocoa Board. Then left to Ghana Export Promotion Authority. That is it.
Is it too late to create?
It is not too late, because the funding that was made available to start with was not used to create more designated lanes. And the Ayalolo buses are competing with the old traditional tractor buses.
There's a suggestion I made earlier today that, look, elsewhere, if you travel, you see that the designated lanes are there. The buses use the main lanes, and then the cabs use the inner links. So, for example, if you are traveling from Circle to the Accra Mall, you're going to Cantonment, you stop at Christ the King, that's where the bus stops, and then the Trotskys pick up you from Christ the King and take you into Cantonment. Is it possible we can work this?
That is what we call the integration.
Right. Is that on your table?
Because in fact, we've had some consultant who did a good job for us, where we are looking at the entire transport arrangement in the country, whether rail, whether aviation, road sector, maritime, and all that. They want to look at where we can do the connectivity. For example, like what you are suggesting, that if Ayalolo should drop you off, who should continue from there?
Right.
If there's a rail services, for example, from Tema to Accra to Tema, when you get to Asafo-Chunya, it's a stop. When you stop there, somebody is going to Sakumono.
Okay, what happens
What happens there? Can we have a bus, or a taxi all over the place that you can jump in quickly and move you to Sakumono Estate and all that? It's all part of the integration that we're looking at. But like I said, again,
and when is this integration supposed to take?
What I'm saying is that we're almost done with the
plan,
the consultancy. We're doing stakeholder consultation because when we finished, we engaged a lot of stakeholders on the new policy agreement that has been done. We even met the Parliamentary Select Committee on Roads and Transport for them also to make their input and all that. So we're almost done to look at how we can enforce and implement some of these things, the suggestions they are making. But back to the Ayalolo issue.
Finally,
another issue is about lack of capital to start.
Lack of capital.
They have no funding to start with.
They didn't have funding.
They have no funding to start. So the bus is there. They have to go and create what they call the fuel from Ghana Oil. Other running costs. So because it was a new concept that was developed, moving the passengers right from the beginning, it takes quite a time. You have to buy the card. You go to their terminal, especially from the Pukwase to Accra, that route, that stretch. You have to go to that terminal to buy the card, swipe it in the vehicle, the bus, before you continue. It's not like the normal trotro where you jump by the roadside, then you are in. Then gradually they started building up. So all the money that they were making, they were using it to offset some of their debts.
Are you bringing Ayalolo back?
So what we are doing, that we are bringing it back. In fact, we want to look at the whole concept all over again, because the way it is couched, it is not the best for us. So we're looking at the entire Ayalolo. If indeed we have to take it away from the Gapti people and run it.
Do we have a timeline for His Honorable?
It is good to ask for timeline, but what it takes money. Because if you want to do a new arrangement, there should be a budget for it.
Is it a priority for
it? It is a priority for the ministry.
So do we have a timeline for it?
I can't give you a timeline here. Because
but you're running a consultancy, you're almost done with it, which means that once it is done, you approve, you get into implementation.
I go with cash.
We don't have money.
So we need to look for money. My minister have to go and plead with the Minister of Finance. All monies has been tied to a budget. So if indeed you have to look for money, you have to go about it.
It will save you traffic.
I agree.
The people will be more effective.
I agree with you.
It will be more productive. Ghana beyond aid.
I agree with you. We'll get there. So it's a challenge that we have come across, and the minister is working so hard with his team to make sure.
Honorable, thank you very much. I wish you all the best. Thank you. That's the Honorable Deputy Minister for Transport. It is also the MP for Tema East, the Honorable Daniel Titus Nikwate Titus Glover. I beg your pardon. Honorable Daniel Nikwate Titus Glover.